Welcome, sir. So permit me to continue. So as I said, cancer is a biggest burden and it is rising exponentially. Of course, I have authorities on the stage, so I wouldn't want to venture too deep, but suffice to tell you that the number of cancer cases are increasing at an alarming rate. We are looking at probably 20 lakhs of cases every year getting added to the already existing burden. So what are the challenges which we face in this country to address this? I will touch upon them, but dwell deep into what we could do from an industry standpoint. First and foremost is awareness. Awareness among the patients, awareness among the clinicians in terms of the cancer, in terms of what symptoms, in terms of what are treatment available, so on and so forth. The government is doing a lot in that front. Of course, the industry, the private industry is also stepping in to ensure that awareness is rising constantly, but we still have a lot to do. The second and most important, which I would delve a little deep into, is access. And when I say access, I'm talking of access to cancer care for every individual patient in this country. There's a staggering gap when it comes to such things. And just to mention a few, 70 to 80% of the cancer care facilities today are concentrated to the tier 1 cities, or probably a little bit into tier 2, but almost 70% of the cancer cases or incidences are happening in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So we have these patients coming all the way to take treatment, and cancer treatment is stretched over a period of time. So they leave their work, they leave their home, they get their relatives all the way to get access. So access is a major challenge. The other aspect of it, and which is something where we contribute as industry, is even within the cancer patients who are getting the treatment today, 50% of them at some point should get treated by the radiation oncology equipment. Unfortunately, in India, that ratio is around 18%, 18 to 20%, far lesser. One main reason for this is the availability of linear accelerators, one of the technologies which we will touch upon a little later in depth. But the basic linear accelerators, as per the WHO, World Health Organization guidelines, any country as a conservative level should be having 1 Linac per million population, which is 1 linear accelerator machine for every 10 lakhs of population. We all know the population of India, 1.35 billion, which means as on today, we should have roughly around 1,400 linear accelerator equipment in India. Unfortunately, that number is hovering around 640, 650, which means today we have almost double the gap. We have a huge deficit in terms of the equipment which can treat cancer patients from a radiation standpoint. That's staggering. And again, even within that infrastructure, as I mentioned, majority of them exist in tier 1, tier 2 cities. Outside of just the infrastructure, the machines, we have another big challenge. It is not enough if we just have the machines, we also require people. In fact, people behind the machines are a lot more important. The clinicians, the physicists, the technicians behind, they make the difference when it comes to patient treatment. Again, India has a challenge when it comes to skill. We have dearth of people, we have dearth of training which is available to these people, and that's one area where we have stepped in, the industry has stepped in. Elekta, for example, has collaborated with universities like Anna University to train people as and when they pass out, and also on continuing training for people who use these equipment. From an access standpoint, a lot more machines are coming in India. There are a few equipment which are manufactured specifically taking the input from clinicians in India who are the best in the world today. So unlike the past where we adapt technologies from outside, today we are also in a position to ensure that we get equipment customized to what India or countries like India require. So that's the other initiative which is happening as we talk. The most important part of what we need to address as a challenge right now, part of access is digitization. We are all aware of telemedicine. We are all aware of what and how it was leveraged through the COVID period. For 2.5 years, majority of us would have gone through a consultation through telemedicine. That is now reaching higher levels. Use of AI, use of digitization, India's bandwidth improving, the network possibilities. So linking all the centers, getting the best practice across, getting the governance going. So digitization is something which is extremely useful when it comes to linking multiple patients in multiple centers. That's the other advancement which we are seeing. Now let me touch upon the quality of care, and that is today's day. Now apart from all these challenges which I explained, one of the other challenges or one of the requirements which the patients are crying for is quality care, the best of quality care. And that is where MRI-Linac as an innovation comes in and steps in. What is MRI-Linac? MRI-Linac, or MR-Linac as it is generally called, is a fusion of MR, magnetic resonance, which is the gold standard in soft tissue imaging, as we all know, and the very powerful linear accelerator, which is used in treating the cancer cases. What is the benefit to the patient? I would leave the technology to be explained by my colleague and the authority on that, but to the benefit to the patient, precision radiation care. A very high visibility from MR-Linac ensures that we have the best of the treatment. We have best of the treatment given to the patient, and due to that, very less time required for the treatment, and therefore the cost of the overall treatment to the patient also is taken care of. So MRI-Linac is phenomenal. Now, we as Elekta are extremely proud to partner with Yashoda hospitals, the premium hospitals in India, to launch our MR-Linac in India. And India is one of the early countries to adapt this technology, and we are extremely proud to have this MR-Linac named Unity from Elekta partnered with Yashoda to be installed in Yashoda, Hyderabad. Again, congratulations to Yashoda and congratulations to Elekta as well. All the patients are going to get benefited, and I am extremely proud and immensely happy that we have this technology. With that, I thank you all for the day today and listening to me. I now hand it over back. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Manikandan Bala.